Ladies and gentlemen, my name is STR Games, also known simply as Zach. Welcome to the completely original, non-obligatory top 6 games list of 2015, where I will be giving you my opinion and thoughts on games I played this year. Which means if it's a remastered game or one I didn't play, it's not going to be making the list. That's why you won't be seeing Tales from the Borderlands or The Witcher 3. And to be clear, yeah, I did only purchase 6 original games this year. I'll admit I'm part of the problem of buying a lot of remasters, but in my defense, I missed out on a lot of cool games last generation, so don't judge, okay? Anyways, without further ado, here are my top 6 games of the year according to me. Sorry about the weird transition there, but number 6 is Star Wars Battlefront. I have to say, I think if I played more games this year, this probably would have been a little bit farther down the list. I agree with pretty much every criticism this game has been thrown at the game, especially the one about the lack of content. Ugh. In order to avoid feeling like I purchased an incomplete game for 60 bucks, actually 40 on sale to be honest, I asked and got it for Christmas. Battlefront has some really annoying and broken mechanics, including but not limited to ridiculously overpowered heroes, overpowered vehicles, oversensitive or imprecise vehicle control, overpowered ion grenade, lightsabers with long range, longer than the Call of Duty knife, the completely broken DL-44, only 4 maps for most game modes, unfair progression system, crap spawns that make you run 100 plus meters to get back to the goddamn action, and bad map design. Honestly, maps either don't have enough cover and too much open space like Hoth, ugh, or too much high ground and with a means to easily shoot enemies below like on Tatooine and Supremacy. As for gunplay, it seems like the range of the guns barely matters with automatic weapons. Halfway through the clip, the bolts randomly spread in the general direction of your crosshair for no goddamn reason. To sum things up, I think the reason myself and many people continue to play the game is because I've developed Stockholm Syndrome, which I think is just what EA wanted. Unfortunately, I do want to keep playing to unlock all the weapons in the game, and I kind of want to reach rank 50 to unlock that awesome Shadow Trooper. Luckily, my Stockholm isn't strong enough to make me buy the overpriced season pass, but if it is for you, I feel sorry for you. Number 5, Batman Arkham Knight. So, unlike Battlefront, Arkham Knight is actually a pretty decent, if not a good game. In fact, its biggest sin in my eyes is not really meeting the expectations set by Arkham City. That and the overuse of the Batmobile, which the game had way too damn much of. I'm pretty sure this is due to the previous 3 Arkham games not having the Batmobile, so Arkham Knight kind of felt the need to compensate and shove it down your damn throat every time it could. Aside from that, the atmosphere and mood is not as strong or eerie as it used to be, and the identity of the Arkham Knight, who he was, oh my god, so obvious, even if you weren't familiar with the Batman lore like I am. Outside of that, I think the combat is as good as ever. It gave a good story with some good twists, amazing textures, and awesome voice acting, although it hurt a little bit for me, because I'm familiar with the voices of Jonathan Banks and John Noble. Oh well. But regardless, Arkham Knight, pretty good game. Bit of a disappointment, but still, I enjoyed my time with it, and that's why it's number 5. Alright, number 4 is Fallout 4. And before you rage, I can feel the hate from miles away. Here's why the game is kind of far down the list. Please don't freak out. I haven't had much time with Fallout 4. On my own time, not counting my Let's Play, I've only reached about, I think, 8 hours, which I don't think is very much for a game of this scale. So far, I think the dialogue system is watered down and vague, which goes a long way to break immersion, unfortunately. The settlement building mechanics are garbage, and the gunplay is a bit more stiff than it should be. I could complain that the graphics and the frame rate are a little less than stellar, but I'm smart enough to know the cost of being a console gamer. On the positive side, there is a ton to explore, customize, loot, shoot, barter, and more. I think when I get more time with the game in 2016, it could rise up one spot on the list to overtake my next choice. Number 3, Rocket League. So it was a pretty tough choice between this and Fallout, but Rocket League took the spot because pretty much everything in the game is well conceived and has some good depth to it. Combine that with the great times the game has provided for me with friends online, and we have my unexpected surprise game of 2015. In fact, I didn't even know about this game's existence until 3 days after it launched. Someone from the Radio PS team asked me if I had downloaded the game yet, and I didn't know what the heck they were talking about. And in the months to come, admittedly, my time with Rocket League has kind of swayed between I'm in a casual mood, so I'll play for some mild enjoyment, and tonight I'm gonna kick ass, chew bubblegum, and spit that gum in the face of the other team. But when I play with friends or in a game with people who just challenge me, it was an absolutely great feeling. I mean, sure, I've played online co-op platformers, first-person shooters, and racers and whatnot, but before Rocket League, I've never played a PvP game about cars playing soccer. When I said earlier that nearly every mechanic and feature was well implemented, I was referring to the crisp and easy controls, perfect arena and goal size, fleshed out customization, good boost placement, and crisp graphics. Even if you didn't get it in the free in the first months like I did, Rocket League is definitely a game you should pick up because I can pretty much promise you, you're gonna have a great time with it. Number 2, Bloodborne. I think shivering a little bit when I say the title of a video game is a reflection of its quality. Considering how much I enjoyed the combat of Zelda 64, I figured playing the Souls games was a bit of a no-brainer, and I was right. In fact, Bloodborne pretty much surpassed my expectations thanks to just being so damn smooth, despite its unfortunate 30 frame per second cap. I've never actually played Dark Souls 1 or Demon Souls, but I know for a fact that the combat is faster than Dark Souls 2, even though it's a little bit less deep than those games without shields or parrying, although it mostly makes up for it with gun stunning, beast transformation, and other such items. Its world is of course creepy, frightening, mysterious, non-linear, and altogether what I expect from from Software. It is, without a doubt, the hardest game I've ever played, making each victory even more satisfying. I don't even know what to call the emotion I felt after beating the final boss, or even Father Gascoigne. That mother freaking asshole. I'm glad the gaming industry has not forgotten about challenging games, and I'm strongly looking forward to playing the DLC and Dark Souls 3 Collector's Edition, which I just pre-ordered the other day. Pick up Bloodborne, guys. It's incredible. Number 1, Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. I have to admit, during the months up to its release, I was really worried about this game, and I thought it was going to flop. The industry just got out of the year of disappointment, and it seemed like some games like Evolve and The Order 1886 were continuing the trend of having a lot of potential and not delivering. Throw that in with the massive drama we heard once a week with Konami and Kojima, Hollow Be Thy Name, and I didn't think a great game would be able to be made under such poor working conditions, but somehow, despite all this, Kojima managed to make a fantastic piece of entertainment that is my game of the year, and would be a clear winner for everybody else, if not for The Witcher 3, Fallout 4, or maybe Undertale or Super Mario Maker if we're not talking about massive AAA games. Metal Gear Solid 5 features some of the most innovative, deep and complex, and addicting gameplay I've ever seen in a video game. So good, in fact, that I've currently put 80 plus hours into the game, which just might make it my most played title on the PS4. Depending on how long I've played The Last of Us, I'm not entirely sure about that. I can put hours and hours into this game at a time and not get bored or have it go stale, and I can say that about so few games. I don't have a great attention span. And moving from side mission to side mission, driving with D-Dog from point to point, keeps me playing for hours at a time and genuinely makes me feel like it's hard to quit when I have to sleep or go to work or something. I must say that there's not much in terms of side mission variety. There's only about 6 or 7 different types of side missions, but it doesn't really matter to me because I never get bored, and each one is an opportunity to take a different approach using whatever gadgets I find to be useful at the time. Not to mention the terrain goes a long way to force you to take a particular approach. So far I'm 80 hours in and have no intention of stopping. In fact, I'm strongly considering playing the game for Platinum, considering how capable the game makes me feel of being such a badass. And after how much I accomplished back in Peace Walker, I was the king of that game. I mean, how could I stop playing a game that runs at 1080p and 60 FPS on console and looks this good? This is a technical achievement that needs praise. I dearly hope I can replay and reset any side missions I want. I haven't beaten them all, and I'm not sure if you can, But if I'm able to, I'm going to be grinding away at this game for months and probably years to come. I like it that much. But that's not to say it's a perfect game. It definitely does have noticeable flaws, two in particular. So the story has received some criticism, but I'm going to be the guy that's going to step in and defend it. Even though I do think it takes a while to hit the ground running, once they introduce the virus, you know what I'm talking about. The story is entertaining and ever evolving, especially for those familiar with the Metal Gear backstory and lore. As for the rushed final third of the game, I'm gonna have to agree with the critics here. It's basically unfinished and gives us main missions copied from earlier missions, which breaks the continuity and is a cheap way of lengthening the game. In addition, the game just totally ends with a bullshit cliffhanger that were clearly meant to be resolved in this game, not some sequel Konami wants to crap out and throw together. Not knowing what happens with plotlines involving Quiet and Eli they genuinely bug me, and it makes me feel like I'm missing 1/4 of the game, which has pretty much been confirmed by now. Luckily, the game is overall so well designed and fun that I can quite easily overlook these problems and name it my game of the year for 2015. The good far outweighs the bad in this case, and I'm happy to say The Phantom Pain is a near masterpiece that was my favorite gaming experience since last year when I played The Last of Us. And there you have it, guys, my top 6 games of 2015. I'd like to thank you greatly for watching this video, especially considering how much effort I put into it. I'm sorry it's a bit late, but in my defense, 2016 just got here. That being said, I'll see you in my next video, and I'll see you in about a year from now for my top whatever games of 2016, depending on how many I play. Thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you next time.